welcome in to Be Our Health. And we have with us Mike Polis with Baptist Health. And Mike has been trying to walk us through some things for the last couple of weeks to help us get healthier and to lose some weight. But overall, like you said, Jack, to get healthier and live a healthier lifestyle.
I have a question. Okay, in America, we do everything in a hurry. So we go through and we just, seems like even our meals, you know, years and years ago, people sat around the table and they ate, and it took, you know, more time to eat.
Sure.
Now it seems like we shovel it all in, and a lot of times we're putting more in than we really need to put into ourselves. Does it help you if you were to just take it easy and just chew for a while? You know, actually chew whatever you put in your mouth.
Sure.
And you know, you put something in there, and a lot of times it's boom, boom, swallow, boom, boom, and the next thing you know, you say, oh, I need more, because there is a time that you finally feel that you're full, isn't there, as you're eating?
Yeah, it's about 20 minutes after a meal. So oftentimes we'll eat our first course. I always think of Thanksgiving. You know, it's always you know, who can eat the most. You know, we go through a plate and then we're quick to get seconds.
Right.
But we don't give our body that time, that 20-minute time frame, to really pay attention to our hunger cues and say, are we really hungry? Because that's very important. Oftentimes we eat out of boredom or eat out of emotions.
Yes.
And we fail to actually recognize those hunger cues.
Quick question for you now. There's been a lot of talk about in the realm of meats. Okay, let's kind of talk about which meats are best for you. There are very few people who are going to give up meat. You know, and I love my prime rib or a steak every now and then. But what
the key word is every now and then, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So give us an idea of what we should concentrate on the most.
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest thing is going to be trying to choose lean cuts of meat. Most of the time. If we're talking about red meat, trying to go for a sirloin steak or a flank steak or London broil. Occasionally, you know, you're going to have your T-bone or your porterhouse or your ribeye. The most important thing is to trim some of that marbling off, which is going to be that white tissue on the meat before you actually cook it, or even after it's cooked. You know, just trim the fat off. That way, you're getting most of the lean protein. As far as poultry goes, I always think of boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and people say, "Well, Mike, you know that tastes bland. How can I season it better?" And there's tons of ways. Getting creative in the kitchen, using herbs and spices that don't have any salt, especially if you have high blood pressure. So using things like basil or oregano, garlic powder, onion powder, lemon juice, lime juice. I mean, the list goes on, but try to get creative in the kitchen. Another lean source of protein that's often overlooked is fish. Fish has been shown to improve cardiovascular health as well because of the omega fatty acids, especially the more fatty cuts of fish like salmon or your tuna. So trying to incorporate those into your daily nutritional intake is going to be very important too.
See, I think that's what I like to learn is I love fish, but if I can pick and choose, what are the top 3 fish items that I should eat? So you said salmon, tuna, and what would be another on your list?
Any fish is fine, really. The biggest thing is going to be how you prepare that fish. You know, grilled, baked, or broiled. If you do fried fish, one thing I like to tell patients at Baptist, especially the cardiac patients, is saute the fish in a little bit of olive oil, and then get yourself some of those seasonings that we talked about earlier, and that way you can dress the fish up that way without adding salt, and you're not frying the fish. You know, you're not deep frying the fish.
It enhances it.
Yeah.
Beans. Beans are good for protein, right?
Absolutely.
And they're, but I mean, obviously you have to do the same way. A lot of it is how they're prepared.
Sure, yeah. The thing with beans, you know, they're a very good source of protein and fiber. And also some of your trace minerals as well. So beans are also very versatile. You can add them to salads. You know, you can add them in their cold state to salads. You can even add them to some soup dishes, or, you know, especially with it being colder outside, you know, doing like a crock pot meal and adding some beans, you know, making a soup or a stew, things of that nature. So very versatile food. Yep.
Soft drinks. You know, we all grew up with Coca-Cola and Pepsi and all the good
all
stuff.
Sugar.
But you know what? When everybody talks about no, but again, moderation. I'll tell you what I've done. I will not give up my soft drinks, but we used to have maybe 4 or 5 a week. I have 1 a week, and I went to the smaller
Smaller
can.
size.
And I have 1, only 1.
Yeah, yeah, and that's fine. You know, the biggest thing is going to be moderation.
Right. Okay.
Everybody has their vice as far as, you know, food or drink or whatnot. So, you know, I don't want to sit here and say, you know, don't ever have that. But if you do have it in moderation.
And you should, more of your hot foods that you eat aid in our digestion, don't they?
They can. Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yep.
Good. Well, listen, we appreciate you coming in. We appreciate all the work you guys do at Baptist Health. And when we have some more questions, in about another 6 weeks, we're going to bring you back because we're going to be getting ready for spring, and everybody wants to look good in a bathing suit.
That's right.
Okay. And just remember this, watch what you eat because what goes in sometimes can stay with you. We'll be right back right after this.